Most parents won't say this out loud, but becoming a parent can be one of the most uncomfortable moments of your life. I don't mean uncomfortable in a negative way, though. I mean uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar. It brings on waves of emotions you don't always know how to explain. Hello, and welcome back to Dad to Dad. I'm Chris. And depending on your situation, whether you're married, single, co parenting, expecting your first child, or already raising a few, you might feel excitement. Some might feel pressure, fear, hope, or all of those emotions mixed together. And for many of us, those feelings can be overwhelming because parenting hits every part of who you are. This message is for those parents who genuinely want to become more aware, more intentional, and more present in their child's life. From one parent to another, don't focus so much on being perfect. Focus your attention and energy on being intentional. So today I'm going to talk about my mindset behind parenting, how it shaped the parent I chose to become, and how intentionality can make the journey a whole lot easier. But before we jump in, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. So with that being said, let's get into it. Mindset is one thing, but your actions, that's where parenting really becomes real. Because it doesn't matter how much you want to be a great parent if your daily actions don't reflect the parent you're trying to become. When I made the decision to be intentional, it didn't magically just make things easier. It didn't erase fear, confusion, exhaustion, or the fact that I still had to learn things that I didn't necessarily get taught. All it really did was remove the guesswork. From that moment forward, I knew I had to pay more attention to myself, to my habits, the way that I showed up, to the things that I allowed, and the things that I needed to change. And just so we're clear, I'm in a co parenting situation myself. So when I tell you intentionality works, whether you're married, single, co parenting, or just figuring out your day to day life, I truly mean that from experience. For me, rising into parenthood required action. It required a lot of adjustments, and it required looking at myself and saying, all right, who do you need to become so that your child can benefit from that version of you? That's what intentionality truly is. Not perfection or having all the answers, just some accountability, some responsibility, and awareness of how you show up. So let me actually break down what intentional parenting looked like for me because I built everything on primarily six core processes. The first, I learned what my child's learning style was, not mine, but hers. I taught her based on her perspective of things, not the one that I necessarily grew up with. Two, I built systems specifically for her. Her study routines, the money lessons, the daily structures, emotional check ins, all designed around the child I was raising, not the child that I used to be. Number three, I exhibited the habits I wanted her to develop because kids don't copy instructions all the time, but they will copy your behavior. Number four, I prepared her for the world she's going to face. Not the world that I wished existed, not the world that I grew up in, but the real world where discipline, patience, emotional control, and decision making actually matter. Number five, I corrected behavior through understanding, not fear. I don't just tell her the rules. I have no problem explaining the why. Because one day she'll have to make decisions without me standing there coaching her through them. And finally, number six, I created a very predictable structure because predictability creates security, and kids thrive when they know what to expect. So, why do these approaches work? You might be asking. Like I said before, kids don't always experience your intentions, but they will mirror your behavior. It's like paying for a gym membership and then never stepping foot inside the building again. The intention was there, but the follow through never really happened. And that's exactly how parenting works. Your kids don't feel your intention. They see your consistency through the patience that you build, the structure you develop, and the examples that you actually set. Intentionality requires honest self reflection. not judgment, just self awareness. And as you keep walking that road, you start to notice subtle changes until one day you look around and realize things are completely different because you are different. So, what does intentional parenting actually look like long term? For me, it started when my daughter was 4. And over the years, about 5 years into it, I started to see a real impact. Her communication patterns were completely different. She seemed a lot more confident. The trust for like between the two of us ran a lot deeper. She became more secure and more aware and more emotionally balanced. See, the system that I built for my daughter started off extremely messy, new for both of us, but over time she grew into them. She understood the why, so she became more confident, it became more consistent, and she settled into it a whole lot more. And in a few moments, I'll explain a few simple ways that you can start creating your own systems at home. Systems that fit your child and your household. Because you can't build something meaningful with your kids if you don't understand why it actually matters. So, here are a few ways that you can actually start being more intentional today. The first, very simple, pay attention to how your child learns. Teach them based on who they are, not who you were. The second thing, create small, predictable daily structures. Predictability, like I said before, creates security. It tells your child, you can depend on me. Number three, and probably the most important, show the behavior you want to develop. Kids study you far more than they listen to you. Don't tell them how to communicate. Communicate well yourself. Don't tell them to be patient. Let them see the example of what patience should be. And don't tell them to clean their room while your room looks like a tornado audition in it. Just some friendly advice. Because kids don't just follow the instructions that you lay out, but they will follow a lot of the examples that you set. And I, for one, don't just want my child to follow instructions from anyone. So I have no problem setting the example. And my final thoughts here, listen, it might be stressful at times, but you have to remember you've done everything in your life for the first time. Parenting is no different. Start where you are, use what you know, and build the rest as you continue to grow. Intentionality won't make parenting perfect, but it will make things a whole lot easier because clarity makes the responsibility a lot lighter. Perfect parenting isn't greater than being a present parent. Just understand and know how to show up more intentionally. So, with that being said, if you found this video helpful in any way, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already. Thank you all so much for being here. I'll see you on the next one.